Yo, this is Dub FX and you're on Reggae.Si.
Alright, so greetings massive. This is for the RiddimOperator RadioShow and of course for the Reggae.Si. We are here at Overjam, speaking with, of course, Dub FX and Mr. Woodnote. Greetings. First of all, I know you started a long way back in 2003 with a band called Twitch. It's NON. What does that stand for? NON?
We were originally called Twitch, and then we changed our name to Never or Now, and that's what NON is. So it was like a band changed. We thought Twitch was a shit name.
Yeah, and it was
Never or Now was worse.
I know, but it was a rock rapcore band.
Yeah. You know, we were into Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, all of that sort of stuff. You know, we were young, we were teenagers. You know.
First, I want to know when did you get the sense that you can do with basically the whole drums and everything with your voice? When did you start to beatbox and when did you feel the vibe?
It was never something that I kind of realized I could do because when I started I couldn't do it. It was something that I liked doing and I thought was fun, and I didn't think that it was ever going to be my thing. It was just something that at parties or even at high school, my friends liked freestyling and we just like into hip hop and everyone to freestyle, and we needed a beat, and I was the only one who wanted to do beatbox and I enjoyed doing it. So I'd like, that's what I'd do every time, and then it started going, and it was all a bit, and I just got better at it, and I just liked beatboxing for my friends. And in the band, whenever I beatboxed to my band, I would say like, hey, let's do a beat like this, and I'd beatbox it to them, like the jazz guys, and they would copy that, and then I'd change it and say, hey, let's do this. It was never something though that, it was sort of like a little tool or something that was just fun to do. And then when I saw someone using a loop station, this guy called Mal Webb in Australia, and he does like really weird avant-garde, like scientific style music, like Aphex Twin and Mary Poppins melded together. That's what he's like. He does like kids songs, but this weird, anyway, He's crazy. And I was already using effects, dub delays, reverbs, pitch shifting over my voice in bands. I was already doing all that live. And then when I saw this guy using a loop station, I was like, wow, I could combine the dub delays and I could beatbox and loop it, and all these ideas flood into my brain. But it didn't all happen like, I didn't quite see the vision of it becoming what it is. It wasn't until I started street performing and I'd make beats on the street, and the ones that people would stop and watch were the ones where people would stop and watch were the ones where I would be like, oh, that was good, all right, I'll keep doing that. So like the hip hop ones, the drum and bassy kind of things. When I tried to do world music stuff, no one was listening because it was just a bit fluffy, wasn't doing anything. So I was kind of toying around with lots of different ideas, and then I just ended up, Dub FX stuff is what sold the most CDs, basically.
But you're an artist, but also a street performer.
Not anymore, but I was.
Yeah, you was a street performer, of course.
I wish I still was.
All right. How many of the parts of the world have you seen? I mean, how much of the streets have you seen?
I mean, as far as street performing is concerned, I've done street performing in lots of random locations. Like a lot of them in the beginning when I was living in a van for 6 years, and he was living in a van for 5-6 years as well. And it was like, you know, I would street perform mainly in Amsterdam and around the UK, parts of Italy. I drove to Poland. I did it in Vienna. When I was relying on street performing, I stuck to small. I'd go to a place like Amsterdam and I'd stay there for ages because it was just so good for street performing because you could sell lots of CDs. And that's kind of why people started looking for me on YouTube, was because they bought my CD in Amsterdam, lots of tourism there, and I was selling like 60, 70 CDs a day. You know what I mean? And I did that for years.
Of course, you to perform here at Overjam already. You go a long way. How did you two guys meet? How did the link come up?
At a festival, a mutual mate actually thought he'd seen Ben play and he'd seen me play. He had a thing going at a festival, a stage with a poetry thing going on, and he just thought, he said to me, oh, I've met this guy, I think you guys should make some music together at this thing, I'll give you a ticket to the festival. And here we are now.
Yeah, we met basically at a festival, and we danced together and played music together and took lots of substances together. And then we went back to Bristol, and I stayed at his place for a bit. And he saw me busking because we went out busking. He was like, "Whoa, I want to do that." So we came out with the saxophone. When Ben Dowden shot those videos, right? BD filmed. He shot these videos in Bristol, which went on YouTube, which have got like millions of views, right? Me and Mikey had only known each other for about 5-6 months at that point. You know, we'd only just met, and we were hanging out lots, and we were playing music together, and we were still figuring it all out, you know?
Yeah.
And now that was like 12 years ago or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now you two
Now
are
we're
back.
men.
Yeah, you two are back at Overjam after, I think, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember what year
Just
it was.
before the COVID hit and everything.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, how did you cope with the COVID and everything?
I think we're all still coping with the COVID. You know, it's obviously slowed everything down, and it's made a lot of stuff really difficult for no reason, really, in my opinion, for no reason anyway.
Wait, what is this COVID thing you're talking
Yeah,
about?
what's COVID?
I haven't heard it yet. Is that a band?
So yeah, I think it's shit for everybody. You know, it's just one of those things that you know, I can't. It's one of those things where I try not to comment on anymore because it's like I get into too many arguments with people, and I get, you know, it's like you can get banned for saying shit that 5 months later turns out it was totally fine to say. You know what I mean? So it's like we live in that world now, and
It's a touchy subject.
it's a touchy subject, and to be honest, it's become political. So, and politics was always something divisive. Like you can't post about politics on social media, you always got a backlash. Now it's about this virus, right? And so it's become politicized. It's all about who you vote for and what they believe they should do, and all these other convoluted things. And for me, it's always I'm not smart enough to understand science or politics. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I just care about making music and care about promoting love and unity and all the things that we love about reggae music and that oneness culture. So I just keep singing those songs and hope people that, you know, are listening to that, and it, you know, just keeps the shit moving forward, you know, as opposed to backwards. That's it.
And tell me, what do you do when you are not Dub Effects, when you're just Benjamin? What do you do?
I got 2 little girls and a wife, and they take up all of my time. In fact, they're taking up my time right now, even while we're doing this. You know, I'm always thinking about them, and so I can't wait to go back and see them. You know, I'm a dad. That's my number 1 job now, not Dub Effects. Dub Effects is my 2nd job.
All right, you perform with many artists, many good like reggae singers. What is your best memory of your career?
That's a hard one, man. I don't know. There's too many good memories, you know. I think it's funny, like when your selective memory, when you think back at the times when we were living in the van and street performing, there were a lot of hard times, you know. It was scary because I wasn't famous, and I didn't have money, and I didn't have any security. I was just living hand to mouth. What I made on the street is what went into my mouth, like, you know. And I was making a lot of money on when it was nice weather, and when it was shit weather, I was making no money. And so there was times when, you know, you're driving your car and the car break, and now you've got to pay for that, and the money that you thought you had for the to-go for 2 months now is all spent on your van, and lots of things like that happening. And at the time, it was very stressful, and when I look back on it now, it was all just like amazing fun, you know, because you just take away all the bad shit and you just remember.
Romanticize the memory.
Yeah, you romanticize. So there was so many good memories. The whole thing, the whole journey. I can't say there's one thing. Everything was great.
All right, because I have one memory of you. You performed in Kran. In Kran, do you remember?
Maybe
the concert in Kran in Slovenia.
Okay.
I know. Because
was it in a small club?
Yeah.
2014?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I was the first one to actually, when you finished the show, I was the first one who came there and said, "Hey, can I take a photo with you?" And that basically involved in that you have to spend an hour or maybe an hour and a half there with all other fans taking photos, and you did it with no sad face, no nothing.
Yeah, that's because I'm an attention whore.
And I want to ask you how. Yeah.
There's a lot of people telling me I'm good.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it.
No, I think
but
I don't know how to get out of those situations. Actually, I feel awkward if I don't when people want to like take a photo with me. I don't know how to say no. Fuck you. I'm going to you know what I mean. I don't know how to. I just don't do it because. Part of me wants to go, obviously, because it's a lot of energy to do that. But at the same time, I don't want to be that guy that says no, because I've been there with people that I wanted to get a photo with when I was a kid, and they didn't do it for me, or they did do it for me. You know what I mean? So it's like
they've been generous, you know, like that's the way. Like they've bought a ticket or
it's part of it.
Like
If I put myself, it's like street performing, right? When I put myself in the street to street perform, I can't expect that everyone's gonna love what I do. You know, if some people might throw shit at me, some people might give me their money. So I go there with that intention of I'm just gonna be me and I'll go with the flow and whatever happens. When I'm in a situation like that where people want a photo with me, I'm just gonna go with that flow. You know what I mean? And, unless, of course, I needed to go to the toilet.
When I saw that you took an hour of your time to take a photo with fans, that showed me. I mean, I have a deeply respect for you. I mean,
thank you, man. I think that also comes with the street performing mentality of being in the street with the people always. It's not like I'm on a stage and you're down there. It's like we're all on the same level. You know, just because I'm on a stage doesn't mean that I'm above anybody. You know what I mean?
Of course, you have to appreciate your fans. Fans like me appreciate you. So,
thanks, man.
You two know each other a long time. What is the best thing you can say about him?
Don't do it.
If I was to be completely honest, it wouldn't be a very good thing to say.
What the best thing you would say still wouldn't be.
But you can say it anyway.
No, when we hang out, right, we're two Australians. I don't know if you know many Australians, but Australians have a very particular way that we interact with each other, and we become little kids because we're both ADHD. So we both do lots of really stupid shit. We become teenagers when we hang out to each other, even now as like men, old men. So we do stupid shit, and we tell each other funny stories, or we make up stupid jokes, and we're like little brothers, you know what I mean? So we have that kind of an energy. So if I told you really, you might lose respect for us, you know?
So I'm not gonna ask you.
Oh no, ask me.
Okay, I will ask.
Go on, ask you.
No, I'm just
the best thing you can say about him.
I mean, you know, we can't do that. He's you know, but no, we're very good friends, and we've been through a lot of shit together, and
we've lived together.
We've lived together, traveled the world together, and we've done things together and done things apart. You know, we've had it every different way, and so sometimes, you know, we look back and think about, you know, being on the street and living in bands, and then sometimes we're in some fancy place doing something pretty cool. Like, Jesus, look at this, you know. So yeah, it's been a journey, and it's only just started, really.
All right, both of you use certain machines for your performance, right? I'm gonna ask you because I know you use a lot of machines, like the FX pedals and everything. What is your favorite machine to play with, to toy with?
I didn't really have a favorite one. I mean,
they're all tools, aren't they? Like,
yeah, they're all like they're fun. Like, you know, they all have their like. I like using the Akai Force, which is really fun to play with. I like using my effects pedal. I like mixing it all up, and I don't like doing one thing or spending all my time on one thing because you get bored. You know, it's good to use one machine to do a thing, and then you've got that, and then you go somewhere else, and you just get these ideas. I like moving. I like hardware. I like messing around with that stuff. I also really am passionate for like production. So I love watching YouTube videos and tutorials about compressors and different ways to compress stuff. And even though I've been doing it for a long time, I'm always love learning that, and I love applying it. So I love going into Cubase, like that's my DAW of choice, and I like just producing stuff and making my own samples that way. I like sound design and all that sort of stuff is something that I really enjoy. So I don't know, there isn't one particular tool. My brain is my favorite tool.
Yeah, of course. Your voice and your brain.
Yeah, beatboxing is fun.
You both performed here at Overjam already. This is your second, I think, performance here. What can you expect from you?
Big bouncy time.
Yeah, lot bouncy tunes. We just like making fat, crunchy beats, melodic bass lines, you know, jazzy chords, and you know, improvised sort of solos and sort of raps and singing and all that stuff. Just put it all together. I mean, what you're hearing is like 15 years worth of jamming and figuring out our sound and still working on it and still refining it, and that's what you're getting.
15 years of life.
You're getting where we're up to.
Yeah, this is where we're up to.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm not gonna hold you no longer because I know you have to prepare and everything.
No worries, man.
I'd like to thank you for your time. Of course.
Welcome to have us
being here. Thank you for your music.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
And I hope we can see each other again soon. Thanks.
Cheers, bro.